Hey everybody, I'm Aaron Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, October 10th, 2023. First off, I love the new intro video that my channel has. This is a result of the hard work of Andre Suttles at SuttleSolutions Videography here in Greenville, South Carolina. If you need any work done, reach out to that guy. He is amazing and did a wonderful job for me. Secondly, if you haven't picked up a copy of Camping with Kierkegaard, link in the description below, please do so. And finally, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, jaronsimmons.com, get subscribed. They come out at the beginning of every single month with exclusive content. All right, so let's dive in for today. I want to talk today about three big ideas that are found within existentialism. And these three ideas are all ones that I think all of us can appropriate and deploy in our lives in all sorts of ways. So existentialism on the ground, as it were. Number one, existentialism in general invites us to understand that this idea of the death of God is the birth of our responsibility. In other words, when we appreciate that there is precious little that is obvious or handed over to us or given in the world, then we can begin to understand the role that we have to play in figuring out how the world will be. In other words, we don't just inherit the world as real, we actually get to decide what world should become real. The birth of responsibility here is what we might call the hermeneutic task of existentialism. It's that we get to decide how to see things. And it's important to understand that even if the idea of the death of God is scary to different religious people, it doesn't have to be understood as an atheistic proposition. It's a reminder that we always are responsible for choosing how to navigate the world and how to relate to what it is that we take to be true. This idea opens on to point two, which is the centrality of agency to human existence. Now, by agency, I mean the idea that not only are we responsible for how to see the world, but that we are free to see it differently than others. Yes, our society dictates a lot of how we receive things, and it influences us in all sorts of ways, such that we find ourselves with implicit biases and engaging in confirmation bias, often relative to data gathering. But at the end of the day, we have to rest on the notion that existential freedom is real. But so are the consequences. When we embrace this freedom, we also have to live up to what that expects of us. And this is what opens then on to number three, that moral life is always ambiguous. This idea in particular is coming from Simone de Beauvoir, who in her book, The Ethics of Ambiguity, claims that when we understand our moral existence, the decisions we make about how to pursue the good in our own lives, that we are never simply able to rest easily on the certainty of moral intuition. Even if we feel like something is obviously the right way forward, there are always objections, always challenges, always other ways of seeing things. But this needn't derail our moral lives. It actually can propel us into now a combination of the three ideas. Because responsibility is real, our agency matters, and ethics is ambiguous, it makes a difference then that we live on purpose precisely because we are empowered with how to understand what living should look like. This is actually a really cool idea. So though it can be difficult and frightening when the guarantees and certainties kind of strip away from how we tend to navigate the world, it's also an empowering appreciation of the fact that it makes a difference what we think, what we do, and how we live. So today, I hope these three existential notions encourage you. They propel you forward, not only into taking up the interpretive task of figuring out how the world looks and how it should be, but also then anchoring yourself in the freedom, the realization that you can impact it, you can make a difference. And then finally, appreciate the idea that none of this is obvious. So we should show humility and hospitality to others as we try to navigate the complexities of a world that is not already handed over to us as done, as finished. We have work to do, but it's a work well worth doing indeed. Thank you as always for watching. I hope these ideas are encouraging to you in your daily walks. I'll see you next time, unless a piano falls on our heads.